Welcome to the Enlifement space, the place to get your consciousness. Of course, you've already got it, just have to realize that. Lo sol sha, ven hiem dang kashola kiao, fanam se sho, tamienak tien lak tu sho, lalama kienok tienam chena, kish nakosha. Ven she dam kat nishom te kenosha shishnukian vanaktan on takrashe van shimre nubla halakran chuka kelom la kiela tienomak tien tasai vishnak tieno kratnya sachien veno klem shitava kandu shakla Kenyem ren nuklam sadivesh nakla inchu dam vrush takapa inshaka halaktu in aknesha. The nature of being is a duality, actually, a positive and a negative, a this and a that. To come to this realization that there's no perfect state, there is only becoming states. We're in a process of becoming, going through various awarenesses, experiences, dimensions, possibilities. All is part of it. It's easy for the intellect to judge and decide, oh, this isn't important. Or what does that mean? Where's that going? But to come to this centered place, a place of acceptance and all rightness, to be all right with what is, and at the same time, not to become stagnant or disabled, fall into complacency. This is a constant process of becoming, accessing greater and greater dimensions that are contained within. We must say it is an inside job. It's all here. So to make use of the experiences, through embracing them and allowing each piece to fall into place. We can't judge this process through the pieces. We can only allow the pieces to come together, and in time, you begin to see, oh, this has always been there. The realization of enlightenment, of awareness, comes through a retrospective view of where you've been. And to see and make full use of where you've been, you kind of have to forget where you might be going, because that creates a duality. So this is not living in the past. It's actually living in the present, because the present is this place of becoming. It's like the future and the past come together in this now. So we are constantly experiencing our future self. We don't see it that way. We sometimes just feel like, oh, I've lost my mind. I'm crazy. Insanity is running leaps and bounds around us, so why not me? I find that being involved in the world, one must be very cautious not to take on the energies of others, because there are very few individuals out there where you are. Maybe none, seems like sometimes. But you keep your own counsel. You maintain your own thoughts, and you systematically eliminate any kind of belief or even concept, because those things are of the past. So we strive not to create a concept or a belief by seeing and being free moment by moment. It is a challenge. It is human nature to desire to fit in, to be a part of. But when we look at where the world is going, we truly do not want to be a part of that. For it is stuck in a downfall because of the beliefs and concepts, the politician, the religious, all of that keeps it locked into a downgrading process. Because history is repeating itself. So it is up to those that, can I say, have seen the light to become a force for change, for transformation. And it's not that you go out and you preach or you proselytize. You just simply be yourself. You be yourself in all the situations that you face in each moment. Allowing yourself to be totally embracing life firsthand, fearlessly, courageously, seeing it as an opportunity of transformation and ascension. There are two processes in this world. One is stuck in repetition, and the other one is in a process of ascension. So we want to be aware of which process we are in. It is easy to fall into beliefs and concepts and conditionings of the past. It is harder to step up to this process of transformation because one is constantly letting go of what was and we have some very cherished experiences, but those can become millstones around your neck, holding you back. Because the intellect keeps wanting, oh, I like that, I want to have that again. So we develop this sense of, once I've done it, I'm finished with it, and I move on. Not clinging to accomplishments and neither failures, just simply moving on. We keep moving on to the next experience, to the next particle of transformation and change. And so one is constantly being renewed and transformed moment by moment, simply by being present. We are programmed to believe that it's hard work to change, to transform, and you may not be able to do it. The naysayers of the world hold to the past, the beliefs, the conditioning, the concepts. And so we begin to see with fresh eyes a blank mind, intellect, not full of stuff, but simply one pointedness towards something that we feel is coming from within. For it is within where the light resides. You can call it soul, you can call it spirit, whatever you wish. It is the light, is the consciousness, is the awareness, and resides within. The very cells of the body are sparked through this and are the spark. So as we comprehend these little changes that take place, we want to acknowledge them and take the next step. I was thinking this morning as I was getting ready, I wonder what would have happened if Leela hadn't been present when I had the experience. I think without a witness, the intellect could have said, oh, Ishvara, you flipped out again. You've lost it. Because it was such an extraordinary experience. But because Leela was present, she saw something taking place and called it to my attention. And when I saw, looking through the mirror, I saw, oh, this is not an illusion. I've not lost my mind. Something has changed. But I think back about that. It's like, if not for certain circumstances, that experience could have just slipped right by, thinking it was just gas. Some wicked piece of food or something, or some illusion. But because of the circumstances, it couldn't be an illusion. It was very real. And so I'm very appreciative of that awareness, because it is the core of what this teaching is. Without that experience, that kickstart of this consciousness, I would just be still running a bookstore, talking to people, counseling with people, doing that stuff. So that has created this opportunity for greater transformation. But I also have to be very cautious that I don't long for that experience. It's easy for the intellect to say, well, where is it? What happened to it? We don't see it no more. We look in the mirror, it's not shining light. But I've realized that once you have the experience, your whole system owns it and moves on. And it's easy to want more experience. It's easy for an individual to say, oh, I want that experience too. But it's not about the experience itself. It's about what is present and what is taking place in that moment. There's a shifting that takes place. And it may trigger light from the cells that light the body up. And it may not. We can't rely on the outer expression and experience of it. We really have to rely on our heart and awareness of the whole body in this experience. For that is what it takes place. It's just a plus if one gets an extra jolt. But we can't depend on that. We must simply depend on this pure knowing that is taking place from within, constantly reminding us that we are on course to something greater, something that's expanding, and something the world truly needs. That is why I'm here. That is why I do what I do, because I know the world is in need of this light. And without this light, the world will forever remain in darkness. So you see, there's a purpose to all of it. And to be present in that purpose is the work of a lifetime. Thank you for being present in this moment.
Shantara says, thanks, Ishvara.
Thank you, Shantara.
Ishvara,
Yes?
those experiences that we recognize in our lives as being, um, I don't know, really powerful. I can count those on probably the fingers of one hand. Um, and I don't want to forget those experiences because they somehow help me move forward. I want to never forget them, but I'm not feeling that I'm clinging to them. But can you talk more about those? Is that just a process where we're kind of just recognizing things partially, that this is going on all the time, or are there highlights of experiences that um, are just helping us to recognize who we are? What is that?
Well, we're always, when we are open to this transformation, we get varying degrees of validation. And yes, in this world, we truly need lots of validation because it's easy to fall into a rut and become like everybody else and be stuck in some conditional consensus reality world and nothing's going to happen. So it is important to allow those remembrances because that way we can keep ourselves open to more, not expecting more, but allowing for more, and not to make judgments on these experiences, but to allow them to be what they are and to do the work that they do for us. So I think it's good to recall and remember them. This morning, remembering that one was refreshing because I was feeling like I'm getting too ordinary and I'm losing it. And then that thought came into my head and said, oh, no, I can't. I can't lose it. Uh, so I think that's good to be able to recall the little moments along the way that have served to lift us, to point out a greater depth of possibility in our life and to show a greater connection. So I don't think there's anything wrong with recalling those or remembering them in fondness. And at the same time, to be balanced, one should be able to remember the not so nice experiences in the same attitude of this is experience teaching something. So when we can treat the whole thing in the same way, we're not going to have a problem with it.
Johannes says, thank you for the light, Ishvara.
Welcome, Johannes. Thank you. Thank you for being present. And I appreciate you, your love, and